trail starts at the Morgan-Monroe State Forest Office south of Martinsville, Indiana. With 4 hours of daylight and nearly 9 miles to cover, I have to get moving. One of the things about this trail that's not the most fun thing is that a good chunk of the stuff in the forest is on old logging roads like this one, so it's a gravel surface. It's a little hard on the feet. And then there's other sections that are they're straight up roadwalks. So some of them are on gravel roads or maybe, paved back roads. But there's even a little bit that's on a busy, fast state highway. So there's options to call shuttles to get you around those parts. I've looked at it on the Google Street View. I think it'll be okay to just walk in the grass on the shoulder, but the rest of the trail is worth it. There's no epic views or anything like that, but if you like trees, we've got trees. Made it to the low-gapped road. So officially, after I cross this road and then another little creek, at that point, I can backcountry camp anywhere near the trail across this road. I would like to get to the backcountry shelter that's on the far end of this area, and I think I should have plenty of daylight. My big question is that there are two possible water sources between where I am now and where I want to camp. There's no water at camp. All the camps along this trail are on ridge tops, so they're all dry camps. There are two creeks coming up here soon, and one of them is more reliable than the other. Sorry, I've got these nasty little stairs right here. Get down these. Okay. One of them is more reliable than the other. And I'm not talking about this first one. Yes, there's water in this one, but it drains off of the side of the road, and I don't want to drink road water. So a little bit further along, there's a creek that nearly always has water in it. There's a ridge, and then there's some creeks on the other side that often have water in those too. But those are less reliable than the one that's on this side of the ridge, which means I play it safe and make 2 ridge crossings with 3 liters of water, or I gamble and then I only have to do 1 ridge climb with 3 liters of water. I don't know. We're gonna play it safe. This is the first creek. It's got plenty of water in it. It's nice and clear. I should be able to scoop up my 3 liters. And if I lose this bet, I lose this bet. That means I make 2 ridge climbs instead of 1 with a big old jug full of water. found a fossil. Good morning. Didn't sleep super great last night. Had a lot of rodents in this shelter. That's okay. But this is the site. I didn't really get a chance to look around when we got here last night. It was getting dark and I just needed to fix my dinner and get in my bed and collapse. And I texted my husband, let him know that I was fine. And I've got pretty good signal here. I should have a decent signal for most of the trail. But there's this ghost of a road that comes through from the north. And then we just have this nice little clearing. I bet later in the year this is overgrown. I don't know if they come in and mow it down or anything. Oh my goodness. You might be wondering, why am I hiking with a bear canister in Indiana where bears are not a problem? Well, lots of reasons. Number one, the aforementioned rodents that were all up in this cabin last night, they were all over my stuff. Mice, and I'm pretty sure some of them were chipmunks, but it was a hive of activity in there last night. So I knew that would be an issue. We also, have raccoons and stuff like that. So this would provide, that way I just don't have to mess with a hang. And also, I want to do some backpacking in Washington later this year. And I need to get used to carrying a bear canister. I just found tooth marks. I feel vindicated. There's a little chew mark on the side of my canister here. Yay. Okay. Well, now I don't feel like such an idiot for lugging this incredibly heavy thing. I mean, this thing probably weighs 8 pounds. I mean, there's a lot of food in here, but still. So while my water is heating up, I will share with you what I had for my dinner last night. So when I got in, I had the Pinnacle Foods roasted chicken with white cheddar biscuit dumplings. Let's do that. I can't do it. It was really, really good. And this morning, I'm going to have some banana nut protein oatmeal, 2 packets, because I'm hungry, hippo. And in it, I will put some peanut butter. And probably the dumbest food that I brought with me, some fresh grapes. So these weigh a lot for what I'm getting out of them. But I'm looking forward to having some fresh food this morning as well. And then I've got coffee, of course. What are we raising? been raining for about, I don't know, 20 minutes or so, but it's a real light rain and the trees are so thick overhead. There's not much getting down here to the trail, so I'm still completely dry even though the rain is hitting the roof right now. It's coming down pretty good right now. I'm about to lose my cover because we have arrived at Brier Lake, and I don't know if it's going to show up in the camera, but that water is disturbed. There is a lot of rain falling down out of the sky. I'm still completely protected under the trees here, but I'm going to get a little damp when I cross the dam here. Well, this is annoying. In the words of Miranda, who goes outside, bridge, 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 bridge. Look at that thing. She's pretty. There's a nice little stream down there. Looks like it's got some good clear water in it if I needed water, which I don't, but I could get it here if I wanted it. This is a nice bridge. I love it. Ooh. There's some big honking geodes down in that creek too. Like the size of a basketball. They're so big. Bridge. Bridge. Oh my God, bridge. It's okay. This isn't the bridge I need. I go down a little bit farther and then I can cross the creek. I can see the trail right there. This little guy's seen better days. Fox's Den Shelter right ahead. There's a sign confirming that. Shelter. That way. Let's go that way. So not long after I left Fox's Den Shelter, in the wrong direction, which I caught and fixed before I went too far. Went down in this ravine, which ended in Brier Creek. And I didn't want to get my camera out because there was a couple guys there filtering water and just taking a break, so I didn't want to, felt weird getting the camera out. But there's a little beach on a bend in the creek down there, and the entire thing was geodes. Some of them were solid, some of them were broken open. Some of them were the most incredible geodes I've ever seen. Absolutely stunning. And they were everywhere. The entire beach was just piles of geodes. So I will definitely be revisiting Brier Creek down there at that little spot. Reached the portion of the hike where it's just work that needs to be done. This is where the old road goes through. I could go 2 miles out of my way, or it's just right there. I know people still go. I want to do it. I want to do it. Breaking the law, breaking the law, turn, turn, breaking the law, breaking the law, turn, turn. I just want to get my water and get to the shelter. If I make this shortcut, I have less than a mile to go. So we're doing it. Nobody's around. Except some geese over there. Oh. I'm glad I made that shortcut. That cut off a lot of time. Oh, no wonder they closed this road. This bridge is scary. This is the last water before Charlie's shelter. I am moving at a snail's pace. My pack is so heavy. It has to weigh over 40 pounds right now. I'm so tired. My legs are so sore. My feet are so sore. And on top of all that, after 12 miles of hiking to get to the shelter, I have to climb the biggest ridge that I've climbed all day. I'm moving so slow. I just ran into a fella with the Indiana DNR. He was off trail down in the ravine here a little bit. He's tracking a cerulean warbler, which is a state-listed bird. I guess that means it's endangered, and I guess they live in this part of the forest here, so that's really cool. And you know what else is really cool? I see the gable and the roof of Charlie's shelter right up ahead. I am almost home for the night. Hallelujah. I think this is going to be the story of the day. Woo! Lightning. Fortunately, I have enough cell signal here that I can keep an eye on the weather radar, and the storm at least should be moving out here pretty soon. It's gonna rain on me all day. There's no two ways around it, so I'm just gonna put my head down and get it done, but I'm really, really thankful for this shelter. It's dry and snug and very sturdy, and I'm just gonna stay put until it feels at least safe to venture outside. I walked off the wrong way again. You'd think with all the time I spent sitting around waiting for the rain to clear that I could have looked at the map and double checked which way I needed to go. It's fine. I didn't get very far. It is soggy. So you're permitted to camp for a good distance down this stretch away from the shelter. It's the only place besides the backcountry area where you're allowed to do like dispersed-ish camping. Holy crap. This is a bog. Okay. So I've come to the first blowdown of, well, the first significant blowdown of the day. There were so many yesterday. This one, I was afraid we were gonna have to cross this creek here, but it looks like I see a blaze over there. So we stay on this side. I'm getting ate up by mosquitoes. I'm gonna bushwhack around this tree. Through here. Oh, this way. Yeah. There we go. This is like primeval forest down here. It is very wet and mossy and ferny. Feels like a different time. I fell down. I'm okay. Just trying to get down here. Ooh. Boy, that was fun. I mean, I freaking rolled down that thing. This big pack on my back. I'm fine. This is just stupid. Oh my god, I don't want to have to cross this. Do we cross this? Where the hell does the trail go? I bushwhacked to get around that tree over there, but I think I'm just gonna get in the water for the rest of this. I fell down twice. I kept getting snagged on like wild grapevines and stuff, and I don't know. It's just gonna be unpleasant. I just gotta go for it. It feels like it's a good gravelly bottom, so it shouldn't be too treacherous. Nothing for it but to get through. All right, I'm back on track. That was a little nerve-wracking. I wouldn't say that I was frightened, but I was starting to get a little concerned because I could not figure out where the trail was supposed to come up out of that creek. And the water's so high right now, there's a lot of sections of it that I was not willing to walk into. I mean, I got knee deep as it was, and I was trying to stay in the shallowest stuff I could find. And yeah, if I'd been able to stay in the creek and kind of wander around in the creek bed, I think I would have been able to see where it came out. But I could tell on my GPS like where the trail was relative to where I was, but I couldn't see an obvious place to get back up there. So I ended up just bushwhacking a little bit, and it was fine. At one point I was able to see the trail surface from where I was standing in the creek. So then I had a solid point of reference. And then I just had to figure out which direction to turn. But we're back on track now. And hopefully that's the last really gnarly section. That's the first time on this entire trip that navigation has been not great. I couldn't see any blazes. Obviously the water was so high I couldn't see any footprints to follow from anybody else. So I'm not blaming the trail builders for, today's conditions, but that was a little nerve-wracking. We've still got a high creek next to us, but we're on track. I might need to stop, get some sand out of my socks before they cause a problem, but for right now, they're all right. I just heard a whole tree come down over to my left. Not real close by, but that was a big tree. It just hit the ground. Oh my God. I never thought a bridge would make me so happy. Got a nice bridge over this. I would not want to cross this one without a bridge. I've reached the spillway and I can hear it. It doesn't sound great. It is really loud. There's people down there though. I guess if I fall in, they can rescue me. I found it. This is the one. We've got a picnic table right here. And the bathrooms are just through the trees over there. And there's a water spigot right over there. And this looks pretty level for my tent. And we don't have any sketchy trees overhead. So I'm gonna call it a win. We're gonna set up camp. I'm in my tent. It's like 5:30 p.m. or something like that. I've had one dinner. I need to drink some water. I'm gonna have a second dinner. I think there's rain moving in. So I'm just gonna stay in my tent the rest of the night. I've got everything I need. I have plenty of water. My food is there. There's a fly in the vestibule. It's about 8:15. I would have liked to have been moving a little bit sooner, but everything's wet this morning and I just didn't want to touch things. So we're on the road now. I'm going a little out of my way this morning, and I could have done this last night, but I was just so tired. I don't want to mess with crossing that spillway again. So there's a little bit of a road walk I can take to go across it on a proper bridge, and it adds a little bit of distance, but it's not a scary road. It doesn't really have much in the way of traffic on it, so we'll take that across. Well, looks I'm gonna start climbing Hiking Hill with one wet foot. I was crossing these little rocks here across this little stream coming out of the hills, and that was good, that was good, that was good, that was good. This little guy right here, this little guy, slippery, just slid right down there. One of the landmarks I've been looking forward to on this trail is the sock barn. The folks that live here several years ago, they decided they kept collecting all these geodes, and they wanted to put them out for hikers to take one as a souvenir, but they found that nobody was taking their geodes, so they wrote a note on their sign, "Take a rock, leave a sock," and people took them seriously. So I don't have a sock to leave. I'm enjoying the variety of socks we have here, but I am going to take a geode, and I think I'll sign their guest book as well. Did it fall down? Fucking fell down. Oh. This is the chintziest, shittiest little tripod.